If you make friends with yourself, you'll never be alone. That was said by Maxwell Maltz. Hello, hey, and howdy. Welcome to 5 Minutes of PMA with Patty. I'm your enjoyable host, Patty Stulin. When you hear the term March Madness, for a majority of you, you think basketball. Well, sorry to disappoint you, basketball fans, but I'm not referring to all the basketball tournaments that take place around the country. I'm talking about life and what we can experience during any month of the year. A year ago, March, that is how life had been. A bit of a madness for me, physically, mentally, financially, socially, and spiritually. Can any of you relate to that? With this madness that had been going on, there had also been so many wonderful things as well. Lots of love, support, and understanding from loved ones, and making self care and self love a priority. One of the wonderful things that I experienced that March was attending a travel agent conference in Houston, Texas. As an independent travel agent and my business, Pathfinder Patty Travel, this conference would be a wonderful way for me to learn something new and exciting and help my clients fulfill their bucket list adventures. For me to give my clients the best travel experience possible, it's important for me to learn as much as possible and grow in as many areas of travel as possible. So on a Friday, I made my way to LAX for my 3-hour flight to Houston. This would be a solo trip for me since it was basically going to be a round trip, a turnaround trip. That's what I'm trying to say, a turnaround trip. Over the past 30 years, I have done several solo trips, but this one was a bit different for some reason. Looking back over the 3 days of flying to Houston, the actual conference, and flying back home, I was able to remove myself from that March madness that seemed to consume me over a 3 week span. Except for being at the conference from 8 to 4 p.m. on that Saturday, I had spent the rest of the weekend by myself. Guess what I discovered? I enjoyed my own company. How many of you can make that statement? For me, it had been a long time coming. For as long as I can remember, when I had to travel someplace, I always thought I needed or wished that someone was with me to be a part of the adventure of a new experience. However, even on my own, I still managed to make the best of my solo trips. But this particular weekend trip, I found myself calm, quiet, a bit reserved, and tranquil. Since the conference hotel was at the Houston airport, there wasn't any time to go out and explore the Houston area. So for my few hours I had open, I explored the airport area. They have this very cute and cool three-car subway that runs underneath all the airport terminals that goes directly to the hotel I was staying at. I decided to ride the subway to each of the terminals, get off, and explore whatever I could about each terminal, and then go back onto the subway back to my hotel. I figured as a good travel agent, it was my duty to learn what I could about the Houston airport for any future clients wanting or needing to go to this particular airport. I enjoyed this little adventure very much, and I had fun people watching and taking some pictures of some very interesting things I saw in each of the terminals. By the time I got back to my hotel, it was time for dinner. I know for many people, going to a restaurant and eating by themselves is not an easy thing to do. I don't have any problem with it. I got a great table that overlooked the bar area and several TVs that were airing, yes, you guessed it, March Madness basketball tournaments. I ordered some chicken nachos that I must tell you were some of the best, if not the best nachos I had ever had. And that's from someone who was born and raised in Southern California. Also, my waiter, he was incredibly wonderful. It also made my solo dining experience great. To end my solo evening, I was able to connect my Netflix account with the hotel TV and I watched two really good movies. A good night's sleep of actually getting 8 hours of sleep, which I couldn't even remember the last time that had ever happened. And I was ready to catch the subway back to the airport for my flight home. This solo trip was just what I needed to refresh my soul and my battery during this March madness. Whether it is March Madness or some other month of madness for you, what do you do to refresh your soul and recharge your battery? When life seems to be getting the most of you and draining your cup, it's time to take a time out. That time out can be taking 5 minutes sitting and doing some deep breathing exercises, listening to some meditation music for 30 minutes, going for a 10-minute walk, or fixing your favorite drink, sitting outside and doing nothing. You don't need to go away for a long period of time to recharge and renew. However, if you do want and need to go away for any length of time, you can always give Pathfinder Patty Travel a call. I'd love to help you plan and execute your solo, family, or group trip. It's absolutely free to use my services. I just had to get in that little plug there. Just like I was reminded on my flight home, and the flight attendant oxygen mask on first, and then you can help others. Take those important moments to take care for and love yourself, and then you will be ready to take care of those around you. Remember that being kind, caring, and loving yourself are the steps forward to liking and loving who you are. When you enjoy your own company, it's easy for others to enjoy your company as well. Never forget, your life matters. Life's an adventure. Here's to living your best dash, and may God bless you all.